911, this is Operator 1. Where is your emergency?
Hi everyone, welcome back to Where Did I Put My Glasses? I am your host and I am here today with one of my mains and dispatch supervisor, Leah. You can find Leah frequently featured on my personal Instagram feed, as y'all know. How are you today, my love?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Yay! Please tell the people where to find you.
I'm on Instagram. You can find me on Carmen's. I'm Leah_Rochelle91.
Yeah, she doesn't have any of those, guys.
That's it.
No, but you do have your TikToks, and your TikToks are pretty funny.
Yeah, we're getting there with those.
Yeah. So, guys, please excuse my voice today. My voice is already annoying as it is, but right now, I'm recovering. Last night, I went to a comedy show to see K-Kid at Copper Spoon in Oakland, and I laughed so hard that I lost my voice. And I tried some vocal rest all morning and lots of water. Nothing's working. So this is the voice you're getting today. So Leah is part of my California family, and I love her and her beautiful boys. Let's get into how we met.
Let's take it back.
Let's take it back to how we met, because we met. Oh gosh, we're not gonna say names because I don't say names on here.
No,
but we was through a so-called friend. Remember that? I think it was it Valentine's Day?
It was, yeah. So it was a little over a year and a half ago now.
Yeah. So, it had to be. No, I think it was longer.
No, it was, which is crazy because I feel like I've known you forever. Like when I was listening to your episode last week with Nick, and I'm like, I've really only met Nick a year ago also. Like that just felt crazy to me because I feel like you've been in my life for so long. And then I started thinking about how when we had met each other, and I'm like, how was that only a year and a half ago? Because I think we just met and we instantly bonded. And I mean, we've been together so much over the last year and a half that it's just
it doesn't feel like it.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Well, thank you to her, even though she's a piece of shit person. But so she introduced us for Valentine's Day. She introduced us, Britt. I could say Britt's name because she's my friend. Britt and some other girls. They don't count really.
I can't even think of who the other girls are. I can't even think of who the other girls are.
One is the Trump supporter that works at the supermarket.
Yeah.
No, guys, and she's a super sweet girl. And there's nothing to do. I just don't. If you're a Trump supporter, I'm sorry, I just don't like you. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't help it. It just makes me not. But she's a nice person. It's just, Trump is, Anyway. We're not here for that. So we went to a Valentine's Day and Galita at this restaurant. What was the name of that restaurant?
Oh, I don't even know. Brittany picked it.
It was the restaurant, guys,
it was attached to the Bacara.
Okay.
The hotel.
Okay. So we ate so much meat and drank so much wine that night. I don't eat a lot, guys, but I ate a lot that night. And then we went to downtown Santa Barbara, State Street. And that's when my Coke gate happened.
Oh God, was it that night?
Yes.
Oh man, we went. That was the night we got kicked out of Cats. Then, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, there was a lot going on that night. It's funny because I just recently went through the highlights on your Instagram. I was like bored and trolling, and you have that night on there, and I was like, oh my gosh! Like look back, like I looked so different, and like Brittany looked so different.
And we don't know what the other one looks like now because we'll get into that in a second. So,
but I know it was cool kind of going back on those. Like the night we met, like you looked so different. Like your hair was short. Like it's crazy. Like how many hairstyles we've been through with you. But it was a good time. That cat's one though was like, oh my goodness.
So, guys, we went to after that lovely dinner. We went to State Street and we went to like a few places that were really cute. Drank, had a good time, and then one of the girls, she suggested we go to Cats. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You couldn't even move in there, breathe. It was pre-COVID, guys. Don't worry, it was pre-COVID, and you couldn't move. You couldn't get well. It may have not been right because that was February, and COVID mysteriously came like that March
Right
or something.
after.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it was pretty packed in there,
it was
but
packed, and this guy just walked past the girl that we're no longer friends with, and just pushes us. And she that's one thing about her, she didn't play no type of fucking games.
no,
She took her whole bottle of water and just started wetting the guy. So because I mean it was rude, like he pushed the shit out of us. We're women, we're dancing, we're having a good time, and he just pushes us. So she just wets him, of course, because it's Santa Barbara. Guess who gets in trouble? The black girls.
Mm-hmm.
And we got kicked out, not the white man who pushed us clearly across the room, us. And it was a whole big thing. Someone stole my coat. Yeah. And I love that coat.
Yeah, it was a really cute coat. We went back to look for it. It was gone. Like nothing like getting like taken out by security though, and you're yelling and I'm trying to cover your mouth and Brittany's like, don't do that, you can't do that to her. I'm like, I don't care. Pops met us outside. I'm trying to play peacemaker, like, come on guys, let's let it go, let's leave. And the one we don't talk about anymore, she was like on it. I was like, oh my God, our work is gonna hear about this. This is gonna get bad.
It was just messy. But after that messy night, I think all friendships should start with something messy, so that way you'll know if you can get through it all together.
For sure. And we did.
We did. Because then we ended up. So guys, when COVID happened, I have anxiety. If you haven't noticed by the constant use of ums and stuttering, so COVID came and I was that person that went super shopping. I don't know how I found toilet paper, and I locked myself in the house for weeks. I would not come outside. I worked out but my old house, in all fairness, it was really big, right, Leah? It was huge.
Yeah. You had room to move around.
Yeah. So it wasn't like I was like, what is that? Closed in, or I had, what is that syndrome when you're like stuck in the house and you get tired of it and you want to lose your mind? I forget the name of it.
Oh, yeah. No, because I don't stay in my house.
Yeah.
So I've never had it.
I ended up
like stir crazy, kind of.
Yeah, it's like stir crazy, but I forget the exact name for it. It's like a name, like cabin fever.
Oh yeah.
Cabin fever, when you're stuck in the house and you can't move. I didn't have cabin fever. I was absolutely fine. But Leah and she who shall remain nameless were like, you need to come out. You need to start hiking. And we started hiking every day. And I first remember I used to wear the mask.
Yes. Out in the open air where nobody else was.
No, it was no one there but us and probably the mountain lions. Yes. But just in case someone coughed in the air and it traveled and like dropped on us, I just didn't want anything to happen.
You're paranoid. But yeah. we did that hike every day for almost 3 months straight, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the best because I was working 10-hour shifts at that time, and I'd get off at 4 p.m. and go hiking. It was the best therapy. Just like wash away my day. We like had so many good conversations on those hikes, and that was, I think, where you and I really, really bonded.
Yeah.
Because even on the times that she who shall remain nameless did not go, and once she like really dipped out and got weird, you and I continued it, and it was, I mean, it was like the best thing ever. Like I miss those so much, just because it was so nice to just have a breather every day at the end of the day.
It was therapeutic. Like, guys, there's nothing better than to walk through a beautiful, it's like mountains almost. You can see the mountains, you can see the greenery far away, you can hear the animals in the distance. I mean, I know hearing the animals in the distance sounds scary, but it was just beautiful.
there was a few times it did not sound right. Remember that one time? I don't know what these animals are getting attacked by, but we hurried our asses out of there.
No, that's one thing we can do. We can run. We was out of there. Fuck that. Okay.
But it was awesome too, just seeing the progress, because from the start of it to the very end, like that big ass hill, like we didn't struggle to get up that. There was no stopping. Like, you just
No.
went, and it was really cool.
And we were really fit. That was a fit summer.
Yes, it was.
We looked really good.
There was nothing else to do.
Yeah. We looked really good that summer. But that's when, so she, who shall remain nameless, she decided she couldn't be our friend anymore. One, she stopped working out with us because she felt, guys, so maybe you can help us. She felt that she wasn't making progress and losing weight, and we were. This was the first excuse. And she needs to work out on her own. Remember that? Remember that first excuse?
Yeah.
So, guys, let's get into what she did with calories. Okay? If you want to lose weight, you need to have a calorie deficit. That's known. You can work out and get toned, but in order to shed the weight, you have to create a caloric deficit, period. There's nothing you can do about that unless you get like the surgery. So, she counted do you remember she used the resting calories that you get on your watch? She would count those as calories burned. So she would say like, oh, I can eat like 4,000 because I burned this many calories. It's like, no, honey, you can't. You can't have 6 burritos for dinner and walk and think you're going to lose weight. No, ma'am. You can have a burrito and a salad, maybe. But yeah, she would eat like a man and then complain that she wasn't losing weight. That's not our problem.
I remember that whole argument. I think it's funny because like I tend to, when people are arguing, I just keep walking. Like I'm like, I remember her trying to argue that with you, and I just kept walking ahead of you guys. Like, this is my therapy time. Nobody bother me with your nonsense. Figure out your eating on your own. I'm not a part of this.
No, it wasn't because I wasn't trying to argue, guys. I was just trying to help her because she wasn't understanding why we were losing weight and why she wasn't. And I was just trying to help her. And it turned to an argument. Some people are just stubborn, and it is what it is. Then she decided she didn't have it. Her social meter was full. She sent us both the same lame message. Her social meter was full, all because we were trying to go away for my birthday, which she suggested the place.
Yeah.
She suggested the place at the Cliffs, and then she decided her social media was full and all of this other bullshit. And here we are now with this beautiful, lovely friendship / sisterhood. And thank you, bitch, for your nasty attitude, because now I got great friends, because I also got her BFF, Britt.
Yeah. And it's cool because we've kind of all turned into our own little family. Like me, you, Brittany, like my coworker Melissa, who's become like family with us and stuff, like, and we all just vibe so well, and there's never issues. Like it's just it's comfortable. Like, and that's all I want in my life is chill, cool people that don't have to argue everything. Like that's all I'm looking for, and I love it because I've found such a tight core at such a time in my life when I really, really needed it, and it was I'm blessed.
Exactly. People don't understand how you need peace in your life. And like when you have peaceful people in your life just runs smoothly.
It really does. Like your whole world can be falling apart. And if you've got those peaceful people, it just takes away so much of the worry.
It really does. And if you don't have peaceful people in your life, I'm wishing them on you guys, because it makes life that much different. And you're allowed to be yourself. Like we are all ourselves. We're no one different. We don't try to be anyone different. And we love each other all the same.
Yep. Yeah. It's amazing.
Now, even though we're peaceful, Leah is a dispatch supervisor. And as you know, because of TikTok, everyone, we have the luxury of hearing some of the funniest 911 calls, okay? And she gets to live through that, 5-6 days a week?
Yeah. Less now that I'm supervising, and now I'm kind of in a different role. But I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. So the first 10 years of it, I was in there 5-6 days a week minimum. I mean, dispatch is always short staffed. You ask any dispatcher, and it's like overtime. It's a part of the game. And we've gone from where in my career I've had where we should have 8 people totally staffed down to 4. I mean, over the years, so many times it's like you kind of get staffed and then you lose people, and then you kind of get staffed and then you lose people. And it's just, it's weird to me when I would be doing it if I didn't have 40 hours of overtime a week or a pay period. Like, you
That's
just kind
crazy.
of, you get used to working, and sometimes it's a great excuse out of social stuff, and other times it sucks because you miss a lot of social stuff. But yeah, people are crazy.
Yeah, no, right. So guys, I don't know about, so we share dispatch like memes and stories, and it's this one. I don't know if anyone has seen it. Please, if you haven't, search for it on TikTok. It's this babysitter losing her fucking mind because this little boy was in like an illusion camp. Remember that?
Yeah.
And she couldn't find him. And the parents were pulling up, and the dispatcher is trying to work her through it. And and he pops out of the fucking freezer. He was like, surprise. And she was like, Con, how the fuck did you get in there? He was like, were you in there the whole time? How did you breathe? He was like, it was illusion. Yo, that took me clean out.
I'm babysitting. It's all right. We're gonna send someone over. What happened? They were playing hide and seek, and I've been seeking for like 3 hours. I can't keep seeking. You're sure you checked the whole house? Yes, but she's not normal. On her way to magic camp. What does that mean? It's an illusionist camp. They like escape stuff and eat coins. Have you checked outside? You don't understand. Last week he made me pick a card, and a bird flew out of my mouth. He doesn't own a bird. Where did that bird come from? Okay. No. His parents are pulling in. Maybe they know where he's hiding. I'm not even in college. Oh my God. Am I going to go to jail? What the fuck, Connor? Yeah? You in the fucking freezer? How do you breathe in there? Illusion. Earthquake. Magic shot.
I've been obsessed with dispatch recording ever since. What are some of your most interesting stories, please?
Oh man, there's so many, and it's funny because I leave my stuff at the door. Usually like, when I'm done working, I don't dwell on a lot of it. So over the years I started just kind of like taking notes on really funny ones, or recording like certain things just to remember, because you can't make this stuff up. I mean, I've had people call 911 for their cat stuck in a futon. And and it takes you back a minute. Like, you heard me like, your cat is stuck, and the guy's like, yes, come right now. And in the background, you legit hear this cat going, I couldn't. So I had to send this guy firemen to go help the cat out of the futon. Like, it's just stuff that you can't make up. Families fight about the most insane things. It just boggles me, because I have a crazy family, but we certainly never called the cops growing up.
Mm-hmm.
However, people will call because, like, I've had an adult son call because his mom wants to masturbate in the living room at 3 a.m. and make noises that are keeping him awake. And you kind of like listen on these calls, like, what do you want us to do? We do not have any permissions to go into houses and tell people what they can or cannot do. Like, some of these things just astound me. Or it's like, just yesterday I was working in there and I had a guy call, and now I'm at the point, I'm 10 years in, so I really don't hold back. and I'm the boss, so please complain to me. And sometimes I have the attitude, what are you gonna do, fire me? Like, I don't play anymore. And this guy's like, well, my wife wants to take our kids out of town for the weekend, and I'm just upset because that's time I could be spending with them. And I'm like, hold up, you guys are married, you live together still? Yeah. So there's not even like a custody order or battle or anything. And now I'm at the point where I'll just counsel you. I'm not going to waste an officer having to go deal with this petty crap. I will counsel you because I have enough years under my belt to tell you no. And this guy's like, I'm like, hey, you're married. You're upset because your wife wants to take your kids to their cousin's birthday party. Like, I just finally schooled him enough with, like, what is wrong with you that he hung up on me. So, okay, cool, I win. I win.
Like, something's wrong with you, sir. Should we call the cops because you may be the issue?
I'm like, no, we're not. Stop wasting our time. Like, and you get like your regular customers, the crazies that call in and they ramble, and depending on my mood, it's like, I'll let them ramble for a little bit, or stuff, but people are wild. I mean, it changes your whole outlook on humanity, on how you handle stuff in your personal life. Like, people are wild. I like, we had a nurse, I didn't do this, on one of my dispatchers did, but a nurse called to like confirm phone numbers for things, and she's like, and in an emergency, who would I call? And the dispatcher's like, 911. And she's like, okay, what would the number to that be?
Oh,
she's like, the number to 911 is 911. Like, and this is a nurse. Like, this is somebody that you would just think would have it together, and no.
Ooh, wait. So I don't know if you're allowed to share recordings. Are you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I'd have to get permission for it ahead of time. Otherwise, I totally would, and I just don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Because I would have loved to have put like something funny in here for you guys to listen to, because that is just hilarious. Oh, can you please tell them about the experience with the guy with the gambling?
What was he mad about? It was because he bought a
betting ticket for $25.
A betting ticket. He bought like a fundraiser type like raffle ticket, and he didn't win. And this guy went in circles with me about how like, well, that's fraud. And like, that is not. So I even asked him, I'm like, so if you go to the casino and you bet money on something, if you don't win, are they frauding you? And he's like, well, are they frauding me? You tell me. I'm like, no, I'm telling you no. Like, I'm trying to make you think, sir. Like, yeah, I mean, people will call in and they have their set way of how they think it should be, and there is no changing that mindset. Like, people are not open-minded anymore, I'm convinced, or the ones that are not are all the ones calling us. Like, we had somebody once call in and she was trying to report a violation of court order, and it ends up turning out it was at a funeral home during a funeral.
Okay.
The restrained person was the dead body.
Oh.
Which I'm pretty sure restraining order is now null and void. But the protected person showed up to like share her condolences.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a love triangle. Like, the new girlfriend or the girlfriend of the dead guy was upset because the ex-girlfriend or the side chick or whoever was restrained came basically to the funeral, and she didn't want her there. And we're like asking like, okay, well, can you describe her? What's she wearing? And this lady, like, in midst tears, is like, it's a funeral, they're all in black. Like, oh my god. We're like, okay. But also turns out restraining orders do not exist after you pass, so can't help you.
Wait, so I grew up in New York, but I lived in Yonkers, so we have like a lot of fucking raccoons. And I was working in Bronxville, which is a little tiny little town, like maybe 5 minutes from where I lived. Not even. And one day in front of the house, Lee, I don't know if I have to touch you. So I'm deathly afraid of raccoons and opossums. Like, deathly afraid. So like, I hate them with the passion of 1,000 suns. Like, if I could find a way to eradicate them and make sure that they are removed from this world and never come back, I would be excited. Like, I'm sorry if there's animal people who love them. I hate them. So it's because they're little criminals. Yeah. They break into your house, they take your shit, they knock over your garbage. Like, they do so much, and then they have those imposable thumbs, and they can just like
toddlers. They're toddlers.
So I couldn't get to my car, and the raccoon was just like running around. So I called the fucking cops, and I was like, "Yeah, he keeps knocking over the garbage. He's walking back and forth." And so, it wasn't the cops; it was 911. And he goes, "Well, I don't know what you want me to do. They live outside." And so I was like, well, can you come and remove it, because I need to get to my car and I can't because it's walking back and forth. Yeah, that's what he told me. He said, well, you can call animal control and they can come, or you can put out a catcher and it can catch them, and then call animal control. I was like, I'm not going out there, and I need to go home. So he was like, okay, man, what does the raccoon look like? What does it look like? Like, he was like being an asshole. He was like, it wasn't a cop, it was a dispatch person. He was like, does he have a bandana over his eyes? Like, you know, like being a real asshole. I just like hung the phone up. I was so mad. It took me forever to get to my car. I was so mad at it. I was like, I'm never calling 911 again.
I do not live in the city that I work in, but I did for about a short, I don't know, less than 2 years, probably when I first started there. So we're going back 10 years. And I worked graveyards for the first few years, and I got off at 6 a.m. It's still dark out. I think it was like winter or summertime, whenever it's really dark in the morning. And my apartment was upstairs, and the stairs only went up to my front door. There was two of these little bastards, and I swear, so the city I work in is like there's a lot of drugs there, a lot of meth, a lot of crazy people, transients. Like that town is popping, and I always like the raccoons in this town are like on meth also, because they're wild. I mean, like they'll just sit in the middle of the street. They don't give a fuck that your car's coming up. Like they're wild. And 2 of these were standing right in front of my stairs, and I start to walk up, and I stop because I see them. They wouldn't move. I definitely got back in my car, and I called one of the officers working. I said, "You better get your ass over here and get rid of these fucking raccoons so I can get into my house." And sure shit, I made that officer come, move him aside with all of his little whatever he had, and let me go upstairs, because I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not walking past them. I'm not trying. Like,
no, because they will attack you. They will fucking attack you. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like,
no. Now, and these ones were like tall. They were like at least 4 feet tall. Like, I mean, I literally was like, oh my God, like full toddlers. They're like a 4 or 5 year old.
And the thing is, like, so, you know, I thought they were rodents. You know, they're not. They're like descendants of like bears.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why we can't even kill them. We can't kill them because they're literally like bears. Like if they were rodents, we can like run them bitches over. But believe me, trust me, I've looked into it. But they're bears, so they're protected. Fucking bitches. I feel like they know. You know, like ducks know.
Like they taunt. They're like,
like, bitch, you can't touch me. You can't do nothing to me. So back up. Thank you. Just like ducks, when they walk across the street, they have an air about them. Like they know you can't move until they come. They be looking at their kids like, take your time, don't rush. They can wait.
Ducks are the animal that I just can't. But I grew up next to a park, and that's like the childhood house we lived in forever. We had pet ducks. You know why? Because a few of them came over into our backyard, and I remember my mom talking to park rangers, animal control, and they all basically said, well, the park doesn't own these ducks, so shit out of luck, enjoy your new pets, I hope they thrive. These bastards had babies after babies after. I mean, we had like a whole herd of ducks in my backyard at one point that we just could not get rid of. Those are the most annoying, dirtiest, fucking irritating things to have around your house. They were very cute as babies, but then they
grow up.
One of them had a cleft beak. Like, I don't know, like the top of its beak. His name was Simon.
Oh, hey, Simon.
This one was gangster though, because like he'd come sit in the house with you, chill, go outside, do his business, come back. Like that's probably the only duck that's ever taken my heart. But the rest of them can screw off because they're pretty.
See, I would have called 911 on them ducks because I'm like, they're taking over.
Just keep multiplying.
Yes, somebody come and get them. Now, when should someone call dispatch versus 911? Because so is dispatch 911, or is it like, you know how everybody has their like center that they call? Like if you I live in Oakland, like you can call Oakland or PD or whatever the case may be. So
everywhere is different. Like for where I work personally, I mean, and it's a smaller town, but we have 30 lines that we're in charge of, and there are times where we're working alone. Like it is not uncommon if you're working alone to literally be answering 2 different phones at once between 2 different consoles, and you're like muting between calls. But at my center, we do police, fire, and we call county to get medics going. But my sister for a short time was dispatching only ambulances in another city. And that was like, they didn't answer 911s. They were in a PSAP, which is a public safety answering point. Mm-hmm. They would get transferred medical calls. And then they handled all of fire and medics. So everywhere's kind of different. Some places are just 911 centers. But for we get business lines, we get emergency lines, we have 911 lines. We kind of do everything.
I have a skin secret. Do you want to hear it? Are you having difficulty keeping your skin moisturized? Is water, exfoliating, and face creams not working to achieve that dewy look you desire? Maybe facial oils are the key to healthy glowing skin. With Indira Skincare, you can get that no-filter look naturally with the Rose Formula and the Maracuja Formula. The Rose Formula will moisturize and protect your skin with a blend of rosehip oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E, and essential oils to leave your skin with a dewy look and feel. Choose the Maracuja Formula for brighter, glowing skin with a blend of maracuja oil, grapeseed oil, and vitamin C to moisturize and enhance your skin's glow. To purchase your skin secret formula, go to indiraskincare.com as well as Facebook and Instagram at Indira Skincare. Trust, you would thank me later. So, like, how do you know, like when you're talking, like, is it or is it not an emergency? Like, when can you send the people out? When can you not?
I mean, if somebody really wants an officer, I generally won't argue it because that's my job. I'll send you an officer. But I try to weed out a lot of things where if I can help somebody and just kind of counsel them on what they need to do with options, then, I'll do it. But emergencies, I mean, generally you want 911 reserved for life-threatening emergencies. So even like people call 911 when their car's been stolen. If it didn't just happen and you didn't see who took it, and like you can't tell me like it's going this way or that way, and where I can get people on it right then to find your car, that's not an emergency, and call the business line type thing. Which a lot of people don't recognize. And but generally you want 911 reserved for life-threatening stuff. If you need an ambulance, if you think your husband's about to kill you, or like any sort of like disturbance or anything where you feel unsafe, that would be a time to call 911.
Not because the raccoon is pushing over your garbage can.
Yes, ma'am. I would have kicked you. I would have kicked you off my line real quick. But people call all the time. They call 911 for like stray dogs. Well, it's a pit bull. I swear every stray dog is a pit bull. Every single stray dog that people think they see is a pit bull. And it's like, okay, but that's not going to get you animal control any faster. And I'm not going to call animal control. They don't answer, leave a voicemail. Like, I don't, it's people like, they're like, why can't the cops come? Because they're scared of the dogs too. I've got many officers that are terrified of dogs. Like, they're not going to go out there for that.
Do you remember when I thought there was I thought there was an animal in my closet, right? I'm sitting there minding my business, having a cocktail, doing what I do. And this is when I was living in Paso. And I hear I don't know, that's my idea of like an animal making noise or ruffling through my things in the closet. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I turned the music down on the TV. Not music, I think I was watching something. And I hear it again. And I'm like, that sounds like there's something in my closet. So automatically I lose my shit. And I was going to call 911. I was like, let me text Leah. She'll know what to do. I'll text Leah. Leah's like, didn't you tell me to open it? Or
yeah.
something like that. I'm like, I said, no, what if it's a fucking like raccoon? And now it's in my house, is gonna fucking attack me. No, ma'am. So
she told you to call animal control. Don't put someone lines like that.
No, but I ended up calling the maintenance people, the emergency maintenance line. And let me tell you what the emergency maintenance guy told me, guys. He said, well, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna see what it is. He was like, but if it's a snake, I don't care. I'll lose my job. I'm not taking it out.
Oh, I would have been right on his page. Nope.
I said, that's fine. We'll still come because I feel like it's a raccoon and I don't have, because I decided it was a raccoon. Guys, he gets there. I have on a robe because I walk around, guys, in robes because I hate clothes. So when I'm in the house, I have on a silk robe and that's the outside one. I have on a robe, a backpack, my Crocs.
He was packed up.
He walks in, he said, well, where are you going dressed like that? I said, if it's an animal we can't get out, I'm going to run to my garage and go to a hotel. He said, they're not letting you in. Because they weren't. I literally had on a satin robe. I was not. That was indecent extortion. We opened it, guys. I'm so happy I didn't call the cops. It was a box slowly falling, and it was like, it was, I give a lot of gifts. I like to give gifts, guys. So it was the paper that you put inside the gift bags. It was sliding slowly on that, and every time it slid, it sounded like something was going. Oh my God. That wasn't an emergency, but I felt like that was.
That was your own personal crisis. That's something too, like, a lot of times we'll like think on our own, like, your crisis does not constitute an emergency, and people have a very hard time wrapping their head around that.
So what is your most interesting like crisis story that was just like mine, that you had to like be on the phone with someone and be like, listen, like, this is crazy, you gotta hang up and you need to
Man, it's crazy because this job I've done in my entire adult life. I mean, I started barely as I turned 20, and it's really shaped a lot of me. Like, I am a very like calm, like chill person, like, and there's not a lot that really puts me into that spiral. But at the same time, like, I'm very to myself if I am. I'm sure I've called Brittany like about some pretty like crazy things before that she could tell stories of, but I probably just block a lot out, let's be honest, because I'm perfect. So I'm not gonna hang on to that stuff. But I mean, don't get me wrong, there was once a mouse in my house, and my ex, who was also a cop, we were both terrified and sitting on our island of the kitchen trying to get my dog to go get the mouse because I couldn't even put my feet on the ground. Like, there was no messing around with that mouse. Like, and it's so silly because it's just a fucking mouse, but I was petrified. Like, I couldn't even handle it. We've had people come into our police lobby with animals on them, or oh man, like, I mean, there's been guys in there with snakes on. That is my true fear. Like, God forbid I ever think there's a snake somewhere near me, because I will that'll be my crisis. Like, I am crying, hysterical, can't move. Like, I mean, I've been on hikes before where there's some, and I literally, one time, the guy thought it was so funny, like, teasing me about it. I made him give me a piggyback ride all the way back down the mountain. No. I'm not walking. I'm terrified now. Like, we're not doing this. We're going back to the car, and I'm not walking. You're carrying my ass down there. But
no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. No, let me tell you, I had to call. So when I lived in Florida, guys, I didn't know much about guns, and I just started getting into guns, and I had sorry if you're like those people that don't like them. Sorry if I'm hurting your feelings. So, I got a Taurus M85 pistol revolver. I know. Don't judge me, okay? It was a gun show. It was on sale, okay? And I got it. And I thought this man was walking back and forth past my balcony. I said, oh, you're not robbing me today, bitch. Not the fuck today, bitch. I got something for your ass, right? So I took it out of safety and like cocked it back. So just in case he run up in here, he getting shot today. Guys, my complex never let us know that they were doing the emergency alarm thing, and it was the man that was in charge for to check to make sure they were okay. He was like, oh my God, were you going to he was illusion, like that's that's how I felt. He was like, were you going to shoot me? I said, I was going to shoot you. You were going to die today. Well, not die, but just like hurt, or like maybe fall on the floor, maybe get, gotta go to the hospital and get it out his legs or something. I don't know. I was not into being robbed. I watched too much true crime, and I wasn't dying. Like, I was going to tell the story, not be the story. And no, seriously, I don't have time for that. I'm telling the story, bitch. We not doing that. So I locked my gun. Locked it. So if I would have tried to put it, would have shot into the floor or in the air. So now I'm nervous. Luckily, the person I was with at the time was a cop. You know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I called him because I was gonna call 911, but I called him and he came over and he was like, you would have gotten in big trouble for this and da 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 da. It's like, well,
he got canceled.
He was like, you can't go around doing stuff like this. It's like, well, sorry. You would have got that call because he was a cop for my area, my city. So, yep, you would have got a call that your girlfriend shot the floor.
See, and that's something as like a dispatcher, we do not call 911, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this way because one of my other dispatchers is the same. Like, I better be fully bleeding out on the ground, dying before you ever call 911 on me. And she's the same way. I mean, and it's funny because I'm a fainter. Like, I don't know if I've ever even told you this. But like,
yes, you did. And I said, I'm calling. Like, I'm scared.
No, everybody that is close to me has the rules of we do not call 911 if I pass out. Like, you just don't, because it's already happened to me twice and it makes me angry every time. I don't want to ride. I don't need to sit in the ER for hours. I'm fine. I'm good. Put my feet up to a safe place above my head. And I will come too. We're good. Like, but I mean, like, I've got like a broken nose from this. Like, oh my God. My face is permanently distorted from these fainting episodes. And the last time it like happened, it was right after a surgery. And by the time I came to, I could hear my the guy I was with at the time on the phone, and I'm like, you did not call 911. And I can hear her starting to ask empty questions. I'm like, fuck this. Like, and then there's the knock on the door and the paramedics coming in, and I'm just like, don't make me go through this. Like, I don't play with 911 ever. Like, I mean, somebody's got to really be dying for me to be like, fine, we'll call.
Yeah, guys, she told me we were hiking up. Her and Brittany tried to kill me, and they took me on the most impossible. Like, it's literally the hill is like straight up. Like, if you like tilt the wrong way, you could like literally just fall off. Like, it was just terrible, and I almost slid off, and she was mad at me because I almost died. How you mad at me because I almost died?
You were so dramatic on that, though.
No, but
girl, every 5 minutes having to like sit down and I'm gonna die. Like, I'm like, girl, just get the fuck up to the top. Let's go.
No, so, guys, we drink like animals when we drink. We are disgusting. We drink entirely too much. We drank like it was doomsday. The day before, it was hot. I had on a fucking waist trainer. I'm dehydrated. It's the sun. California's sunny as fuck. Okay. Mm-hmm. We are walking up a fucking mountain. I'm dying. I'm sorry. I don't know how she did it. But almost how she told me that, you know how many people fall off this cliff and they have to get helicopter out. She's like, don't fall because I do not want to call out. She would have let me die, y'all.
Nope. And you know, I'm not the babysitter friend. Like, don't ask me to be DD. Don't ask me to corral drunk girls. Don't ask me to babysit them. I don't do that. I just like, I'm not nice. I mean, I'm nice, but I'm not nice. Like, I can't.
Yeah, she was gonna let me die.
I'm not the mom of the group, I will tell you. I am not the mom.
No, I'm the mom. I won't lie. I'm the mom of the group. I'm making sure everyone's okay. No, wait. Melissa. That one time I got really sick when we were in Vegas. Brittany mommed me.
Yeah, you know, I feel like Melissa's always a really good mom of the group too. Mm-hmm. She's probably one of the best ones, but she just recently ended up having to call 911 because she was having her own like medical stuff after surgery, and she's hilarious the way she was describing it to me, because she's like, I'm bleeding, I look like Carrie on my driveway, and we don't call 911. We don't call 911. And I'm like, girl, I feel you. I get it. Like, I wouldn't have called 911. I would have just driven you to the ER. Don't worry.
No. See, in that instance, she had to, because you're far from her.
Yeah. I meant like there, but she's always a good mom of the group. I feel like every time I've really needed somebody to clean up my messes or like police me around, she's the mom. She's a good little mommy.
Yeah, when I had my surgery, she mommed me. She made sure I was okay.
Yeah.
So if you're with Leah, guys, don't die, because no one's gonna know, because she's not calling 911. She's not calling 911 if you die.
You know, so if somebody really was dying and I had to call 911, it'd probably be like the best RP ever. RP reporting credit. I would probably be like the calmest. They probably wouldn't even believe that there was really an emergency because I would be so nonchalant about it. Like, yeah, we need an ambulance. They're dying. Like, it'd probably be like, I'm sorry, what?
like, is it or is it not an emergency? I don't know. I can't tell by the tone in your voice.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, my favorite calls are the calls that turn like that. Like yesterday, I had somebody and she's like, oh, we're at this intersection in an apartment. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? She's like, well, I just got stabbed in the hand. What? Like, yeah. I wasn't expecting the call to turn that way. And sometimes they're so like, yeah, it's whatever. Like, I'm bleeding out. You're like, okay.
Yeah. I get stabbed all the time. This is what I do. You know.
It's almost like if somebody's not like freaking out, I'm like, are you sure? Like, because and I appreciate the calm ones, but I don't expect them ever. So you get kind of like, you're lying. This is a joke. We're kidding. Where are you at?
Do you have any times where you feel like you're absolutely done? Like, I'm done with this shit. This shit is getting on my fucking nerves. Like, do you ever have any times like that?
Yes, but not necessarily because of the calls. More because of the environment. Like, dispatches to be snake pits. Like, you put a bunch of girls and dispatches are generally female. There's some guys that can do it and stuff, and those ones are blessings because they are not in the mix of drama. But
yeah,
you put a whole bunch of strong type A personality girls in a room, and then you add in the ones that like are competing for officers or what, like, it gets messy in there. And there's been times where just because the environment got so bad years ago, I put a whole 2 weeks notice in. I was going to quit. I was just going to bartend, enjoy my life. Like, I was set on like, I don't need this bullshit anymore.
I don't need this job.
I rock what I do. Like, I was meant to be this, and I have a lot of fun extras. Like, I'm on the hostage negotiation team. Like, I do a lot of fun stuff with my job, but I was like, I don't need this. I don't like the drama. I don't want to be a part of the drama. I'm not going to sit in a room of hostility because you've got problems. Like, so those have been the times where I'm like, I'm done. I want to walk away. The calls so much, no. It's like a lot of dispatchers have dark humor, so you find the funny in tragedies to kind of get you through it. And like, if you hear us joke around, like, we would sound like the worst people in the world. Like, like you end up with like a dead body and we're like, oh, they dead like and it's horrible, but that's how you cope. Like, that's just
that's natural. I read an article in my program. We had to, in my interprofessional education course, they had there was an article we read about dark humor in physicians, ER physicians, and how one of the police not the police officers, one of the delivery guys that delivered to them often ended up getting robbed and shot and on their way to deliver the pizza.
Oh man.
And they had to try to revive him, and they tried because, they loved him. I guess that was their delivery guy, and he died. And they were like, well, I guess this pizza is on us or something on free. But I remember that joke, and he remembered it, and he said it haunted him because of the joke. And I don't remember the exact wording for it, but it was an article, and he tells this story at like so many things, because he said that's typical when you are dealing with death all the time. You make fun of it, you make light of it.
Yeah. There's only a few calls that like have weighed heavy on my heart and stuff. There's some sounds you just don't ever forget. It's like, I had my first son and I went back to work in the first 6 months. We had 5 SIDS babies, and prior to having kids, I'm sure I took calls of that, but I don't remember them. But these ones sat so heavy because, like, the first one, the baby was about the same age as my newborn, and those are the times where I'm like, oh my God, But at the same time, I feel like I'm doing my job for a reason, and not everybody can be that voice on the other end to help these people. So I'm here for a reason. If you don't forget the sounds you hear in the background of things or stuff, and it's like one time we had I swear I work alone every time the like craziest things happen. Like I've had officer involved shootings where I have to work alone, and I'm on 2 different phones. I'm handling 4 different radios, and it's crazy, but you leave like, holy shit, like I rocked that. Like it's just insane. It's such a rewarding job, but it's exhausting, and it really shapes. I feel like it's really shaped who I am. I'm much more of an observer now in my personal life. I sit back and listen to people talk instead of being the talker. Or it's also ruined me in the sense of I can't listen to people tell long stories. I absolutely cannot. You will lose me. I will go because I'm used to what is going on, who is there, where are you at? And it's like my direct questions, and I don't have time to go in circles. So people will tell long stories and I trail off. Like I'm like, like, okay, like I can't.
So I just want to know, how do you get through these podcasts? Because you be cracking up. You be sitting there like, girl, I'm dying. Because we tell some long stories.
Yeah, but it's a lot of it is really intriguing. But like I can't watch TV without being on my phone. Like I have to do 2 things at once. I cannot eat in public without listening to the conversations around me. Like you'll send like some of like Melissa and I will go to dinner and we're quiet because we're listening to conversation A, B, and C all around us. And then we'll make comments on that. But it's like it kind of ruins you because you can't just live life normal. And a lot of people do not understand that or cannot wrap their head around your reasoning for things. Or it's like if I'm in crisis and I've gone through some really crazy things, but I can take myself out of it and just think ahead. So I know if I do this, that's the consequence. If I do that, that's the consequence, because that's how I've been trained my whole adult life to handle anything. And that is
problem solver.
A lot of people cannot wrap their head around it.
You believe it or not, a lot of people are not equipped with the basic problem solving and critical thinking skills. Yeah, some people are just not. Like I have a friend of mine who has seizures, and whenever she visits me and she has one, I get through it effortlessly. She's like, how do you do that? And it's like, I have been trained my whole life because my mom was sick to critically think and problem solve. What is happening? What can I do? What are the next steps? I'm not equipped to panic. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I could panic like if it's a raccoon or anything, but when it comes to like real life issues, I'm equipped to find out what's the issue, what can we do, how to move forward, and that's it. How to solve this problem.
Yeah, that is something that I have realized a lot of people kind of struggle with. Or if you can do that and they don't understand your reasons why you did certain things, they can't understand it, and it's like an argument on their end because they just don't understand how you did it or what you did. And it's crazy. But I mean, like I've had times where I'm working alone and it's hard too because dispatchers don't get closure.
So y'all don't know what happened on the other end.
No, I mean, especially bigger agencies are worse because you take the call and that's it. For us, so we get the chance to see like officers and kind of ask them and stuff. But sometimes that also is not a blessing because like I've had one where I was on the phone with this guy who had been stabbed. You could hear him struggling, but he had no idea what it was. And I was on the phone with them all for however many minutes until officers got there. But it's like, I'm like telling him call out to them. Like, and I've got my maps up. I'm trying to figure out where he is and sending so many units, and it's dark and I can hear him yelling over here, over here. They finally found him, took him to the ER, and it was looking good. And at the end of my call with him, I said, okay, the officers are there. I'm going to hang up. And he told me, thank you. I'm like, I'm for you. Like, you're welcome. And then he ended up dying. That messed with my head. I mean, I couldn't, when the officer came and told me, they're like, while they were doing whatever to him at the ER, they flipped him over. And I guess he had like a blood clot that basically once they moved over, it was done.
Okay.
I couldn't understand. I'm like, I talked to him. I was on the phone with him for almost 10 minutes. Like, what do you mean he died? And so sometimes there's like closure that you don't want, because I would have lived very happy thinking like, he got to the hospital. He was great. He was good. I helped him. Like, so you get kind of stuff like that. And that's when it's hard. That's where you have to be a certain type of person to do this job.
Yeah.
and not let that stuff really affect you or weigh on you. And there's trainees, like dispatch is a huge turnover. 1 in 4 people usually make it through training. And
I can imagine.
Out of the people that can pass the background, pass the critical tests for it, like all these things, it took me almost a year to get hired. It is a huge process. It's very involved. It's very in-depth. Like it's a lot. And so you get trainees and you kind of learn, like, I'm not going to be attached to this person until they pass training or whatever. Some people can do it. They pass training and then like they get one call or something happens and they're like, no, like this isn't for me. I'm out. Yeah. So it's got a really huge turnover.
I could imagine, because it's like, it's mentally draining. Like I know even though I'm able to solve issues and get through them without panicking, but some issues right now, we're not dealing with me, it's other people. With me, panic mode. Other people, I got this. But I wouldn't, like, day after day after day after day after day, I think I would lose it. Because in my head, 911 or dispatch is like that Halle Berry movie with the girl and she's being kidnapped. And, she, like, I'm going to feel like that's every day.
I mean, sometimes it just depends. The movies always make it way more intense, but bigger agent, if you work for LA, you probably do deal with a lot of that, but you probably deal with even more of like the crazy transient drug, like just balloon stuff. Like, we have a few girls and it's funny because we'll just call this one T, and our resident crazy, like, this girl's been around forever, and honestly I'm so attached to her at this point that whenever she does pass, I'm gonna be devastated.
Aww.
We have had a few crazies that you can, like, they call so much and you kind of like find like a soft spot for them when they pass. Like there's some that I've been like so devastated over, like, what do you mean he died? Like I just talked to him, like, and stuff. And
what are some of the calls that crazy does, like, that it's this person?
They just, you can tell by the second they call by their voice, and it's like, what, now they usually, they just ramble. Like we had one old lady who used to call in all the time, and she had this like accent, and she'd talk about the Catholic Church and the raper and like all these things, like start talking about the devil, and you just kind of sit there and you're like, oh, okay, like, and stuff. And depending on your time, you entertain them or you don't. And we had one guy he's long gone now, but he called himself Bear. And then what made it worse is that he'd have bear stew out on his front porch, and it was a bucket of feces and urine. Oh. This guy, and then one time he came out to the front of our lobby, and the front of his car is like all chained and stuff, and he's standing out there, and he was a big guy talking to somebody, and he had nipple rings, and he's like twirling on him. You just see the craziest people. And we, at our department, we search females that get arrested also. So it's very frequent. You might call, like yesterday, the girl that got her hand stabbed, then she got arrested and came to our jail. And my favorite thing is when the RPs get arrested. I am so petty that I love nothing more than when you think you're calling 911 to complain about somebody else, and really you're the problem, and they figure it out and you get arrested. I find so much satisfaction in that. Like, thanks for wasting my time. Let me go search you now. But, it's like, you just, I've had to, off of team, one of my favorite people, because she's crazy. And I know this girl so well now because she'll disappear for a while. Like she'll go to jail or something and she'll come back, and I'll be like, okay, she's gonna be arrested like on this date. Last time I literally set a bet. I said, give her until this date and she'll be wild and out again and they'll have to arrest her. I won. I was right on that date.
Wait, so is it drugs or mental?
Well, those go hand in hand.
Okay. So she has a mental illness, but she also does drugs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And maybe it was more of the drugs brought out the mental illness, or really interesting sometimes to watch the people as they start things and as it kind of goes on, or they're clean now, but they're mental because of what they did for so many years.
Exactly. And there's not a lot of there's not a lot of help out there for people with mental illness, and then they end up on the streets, and there's been so much homelessness here.
It's not so much that there isn't a lot of help. It's more that a lot of people don't want the help.
Okay.
That's what it is. A lot of people, the addiction is so much stronger that they don't want the help. And that's where most of your transient population comes from, is the people who don't want the help. I mean, we have a whole riverbed that's like a whole city of transients, and they're happy in there. Nobody doesn't want to be down there. Like that's where they feel comfortable. And
we have that here. It's like they put little houses there for them, and they bring like a washing machine truck for them to wash their clothes and stuff.
It's most of like Skid Row in LA. Those people are choosing to be there. Like that's just where, that's what they know, that's what they want, that's where they are happy. Sometimes people even get taken out of those situations and then they go right back to them because they can't survive in a normal setting. A lot of times that have been in prison forever, they get out and they do stuff to go back because they cannot function or thrive in normal life. It is so interesting to watch the cycles of people that we deal with frequently and to try and figure out like what, why, like what are you doing and stuff. But
the psychology behind it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had many moments with T in the jail where we're picking meth off of like her boobs that's stuck there, or
oh gosh,
he's like, we have to collect urine. Like it's quite an entertaining job for sure.
I can imagine. if you could do anything else, what would it be?
I'd probably be a lawyer or something because I love to argue, but I also am good at keeping my focus on things, and I'm really intrigued by law, and a lot of my job has correlated with counseling people on family law and all these things, and I think it'd be a really interesting career to kind of go that way.
I think you would make a great lawyer.
Thank you.
Oh, my lawyer Leah Chase is here. Thank you.
Yeah. I went as far, at one point I was like, I'm just going to go through the academy. I did the test, I passed it. I did the physical, I passed it. And then I got pregnant. And so I decided the world was not in sync with me becoming an officer.
Yeah.
But I probably could have kicked ass at that too.
Yeah. I think you would have been a good officer. You know how to be fair. I think you would have been a great officer or a great lawyer. But I'm happy in dispatch, making sure we get through these emergencies.
Yeah.
Or not emergencies, just someone to talk to
because like my team of dispatchers right now, they've all been trained by me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of like built my own little like kick-ass army of people, and it makes it easier for me to go in and kind of coach them on things because there's a trainer relationship with them. So we've got some good things coming up.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today and sharing the world of dispatch and 911 with us and letting us know whether it's an emergency or not an emergency. Don't call 911.
Don't call for raccoons.
Don't call 911. Please tell the people where to find you again.
You can find me on Instagram, Leah_Rochelle91, or on TikTok.
Because her TikTok stories are hilarious, guys.
We do some funny dispatch ones at times.
Yes. So I'll make sure to do that. And don't forget to share Where Did I Put My Glasses with your family and friends. Make sure you click follow or subscribe on your preferred podcasting platforms to stay updated on the latest episodes. And give me 5 stars. You know you want to. Also, the website is up and available. Go to wheredidiputmyglasses.com for information on me, the latest episodes, and to make suggestions for future shows, and to sign up to be on the email list. With time, as we grow, there will be more things available. And to interact with me directly, go to Instagram or Facebook at Where Did I Put My Glasses for your thoughts, questions, or comments on today's episode.